Hello, everybody. Hi. So as you know, I'm Peter Kipp. I think I've met many of you, if not all of you, not all of you for sure, but many of you. And my job today is actually pretty much the smallest part. I'm just going to also give a few words of welcome and put you into some groups so you can meet people from other universities and programs. Because right now I see most of the EWA students are sitting together in clumps, and then most of QUDS are sort of sitting together, and maybe some of the other people, I don't know, how about you, the person in the purple jacket, where are you from?
From Kyushu University.
Right, exactly. See, she's sitting by herself, so this is something we want to avoid. We want you to all feel very comfortable. It's just as important from our point of view at EWA for students to have a chance to just talk to people and meet people from another country as it is to be a good debater. Although we hope they're all really good debaters, join the debate club and become future champions as well. That's a secondary goal. Primary goal is simply to understand how other people think. So for the first 15 minutes or so of this session, all we're going to do is just have basically free talking time where you can introduce yourself, ask each other what's the hardest class you took at Kyushu University or at EWA, or have you ever tried Japanese ramen, or something like that. Anyway, they don't have to be very sophisticated questions. Do we want to put them together in their teams now or not bother?
I don't think it's absolutely necessary.
Not necessary. Later on, I think Mizuki has a slide that'll show you what teams you're in for a practice debate. In between just talking about stuff and having a practice debate, Shanna and Joe will do a little bit to introduce you to some of the thinking processes you need for debate, and then give you some other chances to practice more specific speech-making skills.
All right, so my name is Shanna. I'm from Illinois State, and I am the debate coach there, and I also teach critical thinking classes. And I have done a lot of different styles of debate, Harley being one of my favorites. So I am very excited to be able to do the workshop with you all. So what we're going to start off with is examining and looking at how to frame a debate. So when I say we need to frame the debate, what do you think that means? Frame the debate. For those that took the policy workshop, y'all know you have to answer me. You don't get to sit quietly. What do you go? Take a guess. Try. What does frame the debate mean? Why do we frame pictures? Why do we put picture frames around a picture? To protect it, to have it on the wall. Does it tell us what to look at?
Yes.
Yeah? So when we frame the debate, we are telling the judge exactly what to look at or look for. Exhibit A.
This is a little doggy.
So we have to set up and explain how do we look at the debate and why are we looking at it a specific way. So the same as picture frames are all different to tell us if it's a very expensive picture, like the Mona Lisa has a huge, nice frame. Or like the little frames on our desks for our kids. I don't have kids. For our dogs. That's what we have to do. So
What's happening in reality is the black and the red. In the red, this is supposed to be a mushroom cloud. A tank and soldiers coming to disrupt this nice little house and doggy. But if we just use the frame, and this is all we see, you don't see all the bad stuff. See how that can affect your idea of what reality looks like? But if you were to broaden the frame, then all of a sudden, this really nice idea of a sunny house with a tree and a dog now all of a sudden looks pretty scary. So the frame helps us to see reality in those different ways.
We don't have bear-shaped erasers. So, when you're doing parley debate, the resolution or the proposition changes every single round, right? It's never the same thing 2 times in a row. Is that scary or fun? Or both? Is it both? It's what I loved. So, in parley debate specifically, you have to start with the resolution or the proposition. So let's say that we have the resolution, this house would party. Okay? That's our resolution. That's what we have to debate. This house would party. What in the world does that mean? Welcome to Framing the Debate. We need to start off with a couple of things. We have to define what a couple of words mean, right? So, a big phrase is this house. We, if you are the government team, you, within reason, get to decide, what does this house mean? Is it the Japanese government? Is it the people in the room? Is it teachers? Who is it? You get to decide. You and your teammates, right? Okay, what's another word that we probably need to define? Party! What does this mean? Well, what are a couple of examples? What could a party be? Could it be drinks and karaoke? Could that be a party? This is yes, this is no. Could it be, so it could be karaoke? Could it be a dinner party? Could it be political parties? See, it can be anything, and that's one of the really cool things about parley is you get to choose. So let's kind of play with this idea. Who should this house be? Who do we think for fun? Just for fun. Should it be the people in the room? All of us? Okay, yeah, so it's the people in the room. Okay, what does party mean? What do we think? What should party be? We've established it could be different things, so we got to pick one. What do we want to? What would we want to do? What do the people in this room?
Have fun.
Have fun. How so? How are we going to have fun?
Music.
Music. Karaoke then? Let's do karaoke. Let's do karaoke.
Wait, if any of you have heard Shanna sing, that is not called music.
I won't sing. I will watch. I'm also a terrible speller in English, so I apologize. This is wrong.
There's another A in there.
After the O.
Before the O.
Before the O. See? This is what.
That really is an eraser.
Yes. What did you think it was up here for?
I don't know.
All right, so this house, so the people in this room would do karaoke. I like that idea. Well, now we have to say why. So we have to establish a couple of things. We have to first say, well, how does the judge actually look at the round? Okay, is it going to be something to do with values or philosophy? Is it going to have something to do with, a changed world better than the current world? Or is it just a debate about facts? Okay, so we have 3 different types. We could have a fact debate, have a value debate, we could have a policy debate. Yes, even in parley debate, we have policy. So here's the differences. A fact debate looks at what is or is not true. What is or is not true. So it could be something like, no, that's value. One sec, I gotta think of one in my head that's not value. I keep adding value to it.
Aliens exist.
Yeah, aliens exist. And there's a side that would say, yes, aliens exist. There'd be a side that says, no, aliens do not exist. And we could have that debate, right? Value is about quality judgments. What is good or bad, right or wrong, moral, immoral. So it could be something, the resolution could be something like, Donald Trump is terrible. One side says, yep, he's horrible, and one side has to defend that he's not horrible. Sorry if you're that side. Then the last one is policy. What is an action that should be taken? Okay? Policy is there's an action that should be taken. So the key words for those are usually should or would. So if your resolution says should or would, that means we need to change something, and so it's going to be policy. Okay, so like the one on the board, this house would party. We're not partying now. We gotta change that. Debate's a party though. So the question then becomes, well, how do we decide what to do? Well, it's all driven by the resolution. Whole thing. So if the resolution was bunnies are better than cats, is it fact, value, or policy? Bunnies, rabbits, are better than cats. Value. The word better gives it away, right? What about trees are plants? Fact. What about Dr. Zompetti should like Shanna more? What would that be? Policy!
A pipe dream.
A pipe dream. Yes. So, you have a couple of burdens as the government team for each style of resolution. Okay? With fact debate, your burden is to prove that you have more facts on your side to prove your stance. It's called a preponderance of evidence. We're going to see if I can spell that word. Is that right?
Yes.
Ha! A preponderance of evidence. That would be what's called the judging criteria. Okay? Who provides which side provides the most facts to prove their side true, that's the side that should win the debate. So if I have 7 facts and you only have 3, who should the judge vote for? With preponderance of evidence. Me, right? Because I have 7. 7 is more than 3. Basic math. We're not going to do anything hard. Okay, so that's how fact debates happen. Value debates are a little more complicated. So, with value debates, you have to do a couple of things. The first is you have to, oh shoot. Yeah, you have to establish what is your value. Okay? So if the resolution is rabbits are better than cats, what could we value? What could be a reason why rabbits are better than cats? Why would we maybe like rabbits more than we like cats? Won't hurt us. Rabbits won't hurt us unless they stick your hand in their mouth, right? And they bite. That's the same with cats. Okay, so that could be safety. We could value safety, that we're safer with rabbits than we are with cats. Okay, what's another reason we might like rabbits more than cats?
They are easier to take care of.
Okay, they're easier to take care of, so, what's a better word than ease?
Convenient.
Yeah, convenience. They're more convenient. You just stick them in a cage. They kind of take care of themselves. Give them a little bit of hay and water and sweep it occasionally. Cats, you have to give a lot of room. Blah. Says the girl who has 3 cats. Okay, so we could value safety. Or we could value convenience. What's another reason we might like rabbits more than cats? Who knows about Angora? Who's heard of Angora? It's a fur of a specific rabbit. It's very expensive. We could value money, right? How many people want to own a sweater made out of cat hair? Right? But Angora, nice fur, maybe a little bit. So that's what we value, right? It's an idea. So just like safety, convenience, money.
Turn around and look at convenience.
That's not spelled right at all.
No.
What's convenient?
Convenient.
Missing an N. You're eating your eye in the wrong place.
Y'all know what I mean. This is why Word has spell check in it. I'm pretty sure they developed it because they knew I was going to be born. But yeah, so a value is an idea. It's not something we can, money is something we can actually hold. But it's usually not something we can grasp onto. Well, then you have to define, what does that mean? So, what does safety mean? If you had to be Oxford English Dictionary and define safety, how would you define it? How would you explain it to someone else? You can use your translators, but don't you dare tell me exactly what your translator says. Don't do that. Or we can start with what does the translator say and move from there. What does your translator say? What is safety? What the translator doesn't even know. Yeah.
It just says safe.
Just says safe.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Okay, yeah, that's not, yeah. Okay. What does safe mean?
Yeah.
Try that one.
Something you lock things in.
Not dangerous.
Not dangerous.
Or like not likely to cause harm.
Okay, or will not cause harm. Right? So safety is being away from danger. Protected. Okay? You had to define convenience. It's not spelled right on the board. If something is convenient, what does that mean it is?
Easy to get.
Easy to get, easy to do. What is money? Right? It's currency. Things that so you have to define what is your value mean. You can't just say, I value safety. Thank you. Moving on. No, you need to say, we value safety, which means being free of harm or protected. Then we have to give what's called a criteria. A criteria. So, how do I know that I've reached my value? Okay? Who has heard of utilitarianism? Util. Couple of people? Okay? So we should do the most good, right? That's basic utilitarianism. What about deontology or deontological? Try saying that 5 times fast. That says that we need to look at our actions and if they're good. Or we could, what about looking at laws, like the law of the land, right? The criteria is a way to tell your judge, if you go out in a world and you are given this instance, how do you know if we've reached our value or not? That can be I speak English. A philosophy. It can be any type of what's called a weighing mechanism, which is like utilitarianism, which is also a philosophy, but any way to look at it. So, how could I know if I am safe from danger, if I'm protected? How could I know? I mean, other than I'm not being hurt.
Still alive.
Okay, I'm still alive. What else?
You're healthy.
I'm healthy. Okay. Hopefully. What else? What about, do laws protect us? Is that what their job is, to make sure we are safe? Is it okay to go and kill anybody you want for whatever reason because they stole your parking spot? No, it's not. I can't do that. Okay. So it's following the laws. How can I know if something is convenient? Or easy to do, or easy to get?
It doesn't take much time.
Okay, doesn't take much time. What else?
Affordable.
It could be affordable. Yeah, I would agree with that. So it could be, we could use a utilitarian, right? Is it better, is it more convenient for more people than it is inconvenient or not easy, right? We could use a utilitarian framework. How do I know if I have money, other than looking in my purse or wallet? Or at my bank account? Those are the easy ones. How do I know if I have money?
You have confidence.
Okay, maybe I have confidence. Yeah, people who have a lot of money, or they at least pretend to have confidence. What else?
Qualifications.
Ah, look at your qualifications. Sometimes, I mean, Dr. Z and I have some qualifications. We don't get paid that well. Joys of being a teacher. Could I look at an economy, the overall economy of a country, to tell if I could, what is the normal income or the normal amount of money someone has?
How about market value?
Yeah, or the market value?
Because rabbit fur, but some people really want it, so there's a high supply.
Or high demand.
High demand, but low supply,
Yeah.
so maybe market value.
So that's how you do, so that's what value is, right? There's a subjective claim. You have to establish what is it about that claim that we are valuing. It could be these kinds of things: safety, convenience, money. It could be morals. What's morality? What does that mean? Morality. I know how to spell that one. I write it enough in my class. Morality. What does that mean?
Right.
What?
Right.
Pride?
Right.
Polite.
Polite. Sorry. There's an echo. Yes, that can be part of it. What else?
Ethics.
Ethics. What are ethics, though? Principles of what? The school? Principles of the person?
Being a good person.
Being a good person, yes. So yeah, so they're guidelines, right? It's guidelines to being a good person. Some people would say being polite is being good. People like Trump would say no. Or they don't know what that word means. So we could value morality. Okay? Is this clear as mud? AKA not clear at all. We'll do some practice with it, as long as you kind of understand at least a little bit. You following me a little? Great. All right, so the last one, policy. This one, you have to establish a couple of things. Those that just took the workshop last week, you know these things. What's the first thing you have to establish in a policy debate? Didn't know there was going to be a quiz, day one. Inherency, or what was the easier word? Blame! We have to, I'm going to erase this. Okay, we have to establish blame. That there is a problem. And someone or something is responsible for the problem. Who do we blame? Okay, what's the other thing? Someone other than Lucas that took the class last week.
Harm.
Harm, yes! Harm. What are the bad things? Who or what is being hurt? Okay? What's the next one? Significance. That one goes with harm. How big of a problem is it? Do we want to talk about something that only hurts 3 people in the entire world? No, that's boring. We want to make sure it's something big to talk about. And what is the last one?
Solvency.
Solvency. How do we solve the problem? Yes. So any policy policy debate, you have to do all of this. Which means there's a lot more to it than just the other ones, right? Usually, so you still are going to have a judging criteria though. Still going to tell the judge, how do you know? The most common and easy one is called net benefit. Net benefit.
Which is similar to comparative advantage.
Yes.
For those from last week.
What did I do with the little... Oh, it fell down. Okay.
It hopped off.
Net benefits. And that just says, after we do something, is the world better or is the world worse? If the world is better, the judge should vote for the affirmative. If the world is worse, who should the judge vote for? Or the government, for the better. For the worse is which side? The negative or the opposition. Okay? So it's just who has a better world. That's it. You have to do one more thing in policy. You have to have a plan text. And that is 1 to 2 sentences that says exactly what you're going to do or what an entity is going to do. So let's go back to our resolution. This house would party. And we've defined this house as the people in this room, parties, karaoke. What are we going to do exactly? What is one sentence that could tell us what to do? Well, I'll start you off. How about this? The people in this room should, now finish the sentence. What should the people in this room do?
UI.
Yeah!
Why don't you make all of them write a sentence right now? Give them 2 minutes.
Yeah, do that! That's a great idea! Everyone
Everybody.
write a sentence.
And then make them compare with their partner.
Yeah.
Then we can get a few volunteers.
That's a good idea. This is why we have 3 of us, not just me. So write a sentence that says exactly what we would do. Okay? The resolution is this house would party. It's the people in this room. And it's karaoke is what we've said is party. Good idea to rent a karaoke box. Why should we rent a karaoke box? What good would come from that?
Saves time.
Okay, we save time. Call them up, they deliver. Sounds good. That's one advantage, that renting the karaoke box would save us time. What else?
Engineering students don't have to work.
The engineering students don't have to work. They get the day off. Okay? Yes. What else?
You have various songs to choose from.
We have various songs to choose from. Maybe the engineering students would only give us really boring songs about building things. Okay, what else? Why else would karaoke be something good to do?
We won't inconvenience other people.
Oh, we won't inconvenience other people. So we're just renting it. We don't make other people do it.
No, it's like if we sing in another space,
Oh.
we're disturbing other people.
Oh, yeah. So if we just sing in here, we just bother each other, which is okay. Instead of going and bothering other people. See, this is why in America, our karaoke bars, you just sing in front of everybody. This is why I don't go. Because I would inconvenience everybody. All right, so let's think about the other way, though.
Hold on. There's one. How about the people that rent karaoke? They get to keep their jobs.
Yeah, there we go. The people that rent the karaoke machine, we help them keep their job. Good one. They need money. Yes, Professor Kip.
Introduces the wonderful location of Kyushu University to the people who come in to deliver the box.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe they didn't know that Kyushu was even all the way out here. Maybe they're like all the way down in downtown Tenjin and had no idea. Okay, so let's think about the other one though. Professor Kip's, of having the engineering students build it and all of us donate 1,000 yen. Why could that be a good idea?
Engineering students can feel satisfied after making it.
Yeah, the engineering students feel good about themselves, right? They did a big thing. Okay, what else? That's it. We make the students feel good about themselves.
Maybe it's a cheaper alternative.
Maybe it's cheaper. We don't know how much renting the box could be. Yeah? And we get to keep it. We don't have to give it back.
We could sell it.
We could sell it. We could make a profit. We could sell our karaoke machine when we're done. Or the plans, right? The engineering students also have to do all the planning. So we could make money. I like that idea. What else?
It's more ethical.
I'm sorry?
It's more ethical.
It's more ethical?
We party after we work.
Oh, we party after we work. There we go. That's a good one. We have to put the time in before we can enjoy ourselves. That's a good one. What else? What about the type of music? If you rent the karaoke box, do you get to pick exactly what music you want? No, you kind of just get what they give you, right? Well, if we build our own karaoke machine, could we pick our own music? Maybe so. Lucas said, we'd have more music with the karaoke box, renting it. Maybe if we build it, we have the music we like, and we're not subject to "My Heart Will Go On." Not a fun karaoke song. So do you see how you do comparative advantage? You look at a case and you pick a plain text and then you say why it would be a good idea. So now let's start back up at the top though with blame. Right? We have to establish blame. So that means we have to say that there's something wrong with this class right now before we would change it. So what could be wrong with this class right now?
It's too quiet.
It's too quiet, yes. So it's too quiet.
And whose fault's that?
Okay, so it's the students are too quiet. It's for sure not the three of us up here. Okay, what else? What else is wrong?
Too many girls and boys.
There's not enough boys. That is purely their fault, not mine.
Thank you, University.
Okay, what else is wrong? Is it boring a little bit? It's really just kind of like falling asleep, some of you? I see some of you nodding off, so don't try to tell me no. Okay, so the blame is that it's not loud enough, and there's too many girls, not enough boys, and it's all Professor Kip and Professor Joe's fault.
He's the one that comes from a women's university.
I know, but you're also a man, so
Oh, I just naturally
you
get
just
blamed.
naturally
Oh,
get
okay.
blamed. And I'm just awesome. So we have her to blame. Why is it being quiet or not enough boys? Why is that a bad thing? What are our harms? What are the problems with it being quiet or too many girls?
No interaction.
Okay, there's no interaction going on. We aren't meeting each other. We only have that little bit of time that Professor gave us. Okay, what else? That's it. We just don't get to meet people.
We cannot share ideas.
We can't share our ideas because we have to sit here and listen to me talk. Okay, so those are some of the harms, right? And then our plan is that we would either rent the karaoke box or buy the karaoke box, or build it. Let's go with rent. So our plan is we're gonna rent. How would renting solve our problems? Which are, remember, we're not sharing our ideas or meeting each other. How would renting a karaoke box solve those problems?
It would help break the ice.
Break the ice. You could all make fun of me for singing. Give you common ground. What else? Would you feel better talking to each other if there's like a little bit of music playing and we didn't have to worry about everybody listening to every word that we say? Yeah? So we could share our ideas because not everybody's listening. Because someone's singing and someone's laughing at them. It's me. So that's a policy debate. Those are the things you have to do. So you have to look at, framing the debate, we have to look at the resolution. We have to decide, is it fact, value, or policy? If it's fact, we have to come up with all the reasons why our side is correct, whether we're the government or the opposition. If it's value, we have to come up with a value, right? Something to care about. And then a criteria, a way to measure it. And if it's policy, we have to identify who is to blame for the big problem. We have to have a plan of action that says exactly how we're going to fix the problem. And then we have to say why fixing the problem is a good idea. What questions do you have so far about this? These three things. Okay. I'm going to give you a resolution. Your job with the people at your table is to decide, is it fact, value, or policy? And then you have to either do the value and the criteria, or you need to do blame and everything. Blame, harm, plan, text, solvency. Or fact, just come up with a bunch of facts. Okay? As though you are the government, or the affirmative. Okay? Government, affirmative, they mean the same thing. Sound okay? All right, we're going to start off easy. Now remember, what is this? There we go. If you have something like this house, what do you have to do? You have to define this house. And if it's something like party, you have to be specific. What is the party? All right. My grandmother has a clock that does this exact noise. All right. If I write THW, that's this house would. Fair? This house would ban violent video games. This house would ban violent video games. So first, decide with your rows, is it fact, value, or policy? And then do the steps. Define it. What is our criteria? All of that. All right. So let's talk about it. Even if you're not done, that's okay. I got to kind of hear all of you, you were all having really good ideas. So let's start with, we have to define our words, right? So, how were some of the ways you defined this house? What did some of your groups decide on?
I guess nobody defined this house.
No, everybody. I know almost everybody defined this house because I looked at
Oh, you
everybody.
made them do it. Okay.
Well, somebody said the Korean government.
Yeah, so how many said the Korean government? Show of hands. See, you defined this house. How many people said the Japanese government? Okay. What did you say?
Just like
Just
the
the
Video Games Association.
Oh, the Video Game Association, or just the government. Okay, that's I like that. That's interesting. Okay, how did you define the word ban? What does it mean to ban? Are you raising your hand or are you hiding? Yeah, what'd you two do?
Like criminalize anyone who tried to use any further
Okay, to criminalize? Maybe. If I was the opposition, how do you think I would argue that criminalizing and banning are not the same? What do you think? If you criminalize it, can you technically still do it? Yeah.
Yeah, unless you get caught.
Unless you get caught. Now, if I ban it, if I came up and I said, all right, you're banned, can't drink this. Sorry, never again. You're banned. What does that mean? Can you drink it?
No.
Yeah, but you're not going to go to jail because you're banned from it. So words matter. So he said to criminalize. That could be something. As the opposition, I would argue it, as I just did. What else did some of you say? What else does it mean to ban?
To not sell those games to teenagers
Or just to not sell? That could be one. What else? Does it just mean to not allow? We just keep it really simple. Ban means not allow, right? Can't do. A ban is where we stop something from happening. We prevent it from happening.
Some people had age restrictions, so they would ban it, but only up to a certain age or something.
I wasn't talking about that plan. Text.
What?
I wasn't talking because it's just definitions.
I know, but
You're just jumping ahead of me, is all I'm saying.
saying a ban could be within a range.
Oh, yes. A ban could be within a range. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Carry on.
Thank you. The next one would be a phrase, right? Violent video games. How did you define this group over here? You had a great definition. What was your definition for violent video games?
Harm somebody in both physical and mental way.
Okay, a game that can harm someone in both physical and mental. That's a great definition. Who else had a different definition? There were other really good ones out there.
A plot that might include bloodshed, sexual assault, severed body parts, or swear words.
There you go. That's very descriptive. We know exactly what it is. Anything that. I'm not going to repeat it too many. That's a good definition.
Severed body parts are so much fun.
What about cannibals?
What about cutting your hair?
Oh,
Is that included in your definition?
So yeah, now one other thing I know some people defined was just what is a video game.
That's good.
So what is a video game? How do I know if it's a video game? I'm walking around in the store.
Is like Pokemon Go a video game?
I don't know, is it?
Is it, or does it have to be on a console, like a PlayStation 4 to be a
Well,
video
is my
game.
phone a console?
Or is your phone a console? Right. Facebook games? Are those video games?
Do those count? Or I explode bubbles? Kind of violent. Or the games where you have to collect the little animals by like exploding things around them. That could be violent. Who defined just video game? Okay. What did you come up with? No, don't look behind you.
We defined it as computer games, CD-ROMs or programs, and any type of game that was put on a console.
Okay. So any game played on any type of console through a CD. That's a good definition. How did you define video game?
Oh, exactly the same.
Exactly the same way. Word for word, perfectly, we are synced. How did you really define it?
I just define it like briefly as any games that can be played on TV or computer, etc.
Okay. Something to be played on a TV or computer or etc. Very good. Okay. So we've defined all of our words. Step 1 done. Now I said we have to set up a criteria. What is the normal criteria that I said we use for policy debate? It's a 2-word phrase. Look, it's in your notes if you took notes. Okay, I'll give you the first. Give you the first word. The first word in the phrase is net. What's the second word? Benefit, right? What does net benefit mean? Net benefits means, is the world better after the plan? Is the world better after the plan? Okay, so then you had to go through blame, harm, and solvency. What was some of the blame? Who or what is to blame for violent video games? What you said, you defined this house as the Video Game Association, right?
Video game company.
The company. So who is to blame for violent video games in your scenario?
The video game makers.
The people who make them. All right. Yeah. They're the ones that design them and let us all see the splurting blood and.
And the people who don't complain against them.
Ah. And the people who don't complain and let it happen. Yeah. What else did you say? Who had something different for blame? What did you have? Back in the back, you told me your name when we were sitting in our group together. Don't look at your partner like I'm not talking to you. You took my, we were in the group together. Your name again.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Dion.
Bion?
Dion.
Bion. I'm gonna get it wrong the whole week, ain't I? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at names.
Government?
Which government? All of them?
Government. We define this house developed countries, so developed countries government.
Okay. Why are they to blame?
Because they allow video game makers to make this kind of.
Okay, because there's no law that says you can't do it. They let them do it. That's great. Very good. What are some of the harms? Daishi, you had a good harm. What was yours that you came up with? Daishi, sorry. See, I'm really bad at looking.
Especially children are mentally immature, so they get violent, and we consider that the number of children who actually get violent is not that huge. But once they get violent, then they bully many people, so the harm is so significant.
Yeah. So when I play a violent video game, if I'm a little kid, I can become violent, and then I can bully because I'm very easily influenced on what to do, and so then it, you know, who I bully gets hurt, and it expands and keeps going. Great. Who else? What other harms do we have from, why are violent video games bad? What else did you say? Yeah?
Additionally, to Turkey,
Mhm.
and some of children are inspired by this child.
Mhm.
So the numbers of the violent children increase.
There we go. So it's a multiplier.
Yeah.
It keeps getting bigger and bigger the farther out. Yeah. Very good. What else? Why else is that the only reason? Because little kids do things that are dumb? Because video games told them?
Addiction and child abuse.
What do you mean by that? Explain a little
So
bit.
firstly, about addiction, obviously because they may enjoy those violent video games, so they play more and more, and they basically get addicted to
They
it.
don't do anything else?
And they can cause a lot of problems in the society and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And about the child abuse is that if the adults also play, maybe they get to a point where they're so addicted and they cannot control themselves, and they can do some child abuse.
So they start taking it out on the kids around them, maybe? Yeah. That's a good one. So you get addicted and all you do is drink Mountain Dew and play the game all day. There was a story of some kid who got very, very sick because of World of Warcraft. He didn't leave his desk for like days. I don't know, I don't play these games. So that's a good one. So what were some plan texts? What is the exact action we're gonna take to ban violent video games? What plans did you write? Everybody looks down as though I'm not going to call on them. So I'm going to come over here to the middle. What plan did the three of you come up with? You didn't get there. Cool. Not a problem. What plan did you come up with? You were talking about one when I was back here earlier. You had a really good one.
He said that the school should increase like creative classes,
Mhm.
satisfying the feelings of killing, fighting.
Oh, give them something else to do?
Sports, boxing.
Okay. Here's my question. Does that ban the violent video games, or does it give them something else to do? So it's not a ban. So remember, we gotta be very careful with our plan text. It's a great idea, but it's not quite with the resolution, which is okay. That's why we do this. Did you three come up with a plan text? We're gonna find someone. What do you have? Okay.
The government should let the PC rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The PC rooms
Under 19.
They should let those under 19 play those games, and if they do, they should punish them.
Oh, okay. So, and we're talking about the Korean government? So the Korean government should not let those under 19 play the games in PC rooms. And if they do, punish the company. That's a good plan text. So don't let 19-year-olds, anyone under 19 play. Very good. Great job, ladies. What about the three of you? What did you come up with for a plan text?
Well, we will require the company, video game company, to get approval from the state before they sell.
Don't they already kind of have to do that, though? Don't you have to get rated and approved before you can make a video game? Okay, how would that ban it? Couldn't the government tell me, oh, it's not that bad?
And if the government decides that is violence, we will not allow.
Oh, so the government, any violent games, the government's gonna say nope,
They can
censor it and say you can't make it. That's better.
We will not set up age discrimination.
That's okay. There doesn't have to be an age discrimination. That's just one idea. So ban it for adults too. They don't know what they're doing. Okay. So then solvency is, why would this be a good thing? Did everybody go through that too? Like, why banning it in whatever way? Does this make sense? Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Zompetti and let him help you out some more with it.
Right, so we have one other component to this session before we take a 10-minute break. And so I'll try to keep it relatively brief. But I want to talk about the importance of framing. Remember, Shanna talked about framing, and I drew that really awesome picture, right? The reason why framing is important is, first of all, because language is important. The words we use are extremely valuable, and they have special meanings. We could use one word and we think we know what it is we're trying to say, but if it's ambiguous or vague, or if it's not really precise, then our audience might think we mean something different. And words are important. The way we deliver words is also important. For example, listen to this. Donald Trump said the Marines should invade Russia. Now listen to this. Donald Trump said the Marines should invade Russia. Or how about this one? Donald Trump said the Marines should invade Russia. Or Donald Trump said the Marines should invade Russia. Just putting emphasis on a word in a sentence changes the meaning of the sentence, right? And so this is one of the reasons why we really stress the importance of what we call manner in parliamentary debate, because the manner is the style that we use, the eloquence of the speaker. It's not just about making an argument, it's also about being persuasive with that argument. And you can use a variety of different things to be persuasive, right? Evidence or reasoning is just one way of being persuasive. But sounding like you're confident, which I know some of you need to work on, could be a way of persuading. Speaking up loudly so everyone can hear you, which some of you need to work on, could be a way of being persuasive. Nonverbal communication can be persuasive. I don't know if you noticed, but almost every time Shanna talks, I do this. Right? So that's communicating something, right? So that's why, that's one of the reasons why language is important. The other reason why language is important is, remember the picture I drew, and that is that language creates a form of reality. And by rhetorically, this is what we call rhetorically framing an argument, we can construct a certain reality. Okay? So if I just said, everything is fantastic in Japan at the moment, and I just talk about the good things that are happening in Japan. Japan has awesome food. The Japanese people are wonderful and amazing people. They have such a rich tradition and a rich history. A lot of fascinating culture. Great museums, wonderful shrines and temples, beautiful countryside. It has the mountains, it has the ocean, it has just about everything you could possibly want in one single country. What have I just done? I sound like a commercial for Japan, right?
You've gotten yourself a new job.
Yes! But, so I'm trying to create a certain kind of reality, right? But what if I come up and I say, you know, there are a lot of great things about Japan. I love Japan. This is my 9th visit to Japan. I love the food, I love the people, I love the mountains and the oceans, and I love the rich sense of history and culture. But You have an aging population, so your social welfare system is at risk. You're in massive debt. You have a fascist for a prime minister. And you've got some environmental concerns because of nuclear power plants like Fukushima. All of a sudden, Japan doesn't automatically seem like the best country on the planet anymore, does it? It's still good, but that sense of reality has kind of changed a little bit, right? So that's what we call rhetorically framing an argument. Let's assume there's a motion that you're given, and the government has to support this motion, that this House would ban all sports in schools. This House would ban all sports in schools. Now, is this a fact, value, or policy motion? Yes, it's a policy motion, right? Currently there's sports in schools. And if I'm the government, I need to try to make the argument that that needs to be banned. Some sort of change needs to take place, right, to get rid of sports in schools. Now, in addition to all the stuff that we just did with the exercise that Shanna had you do, right, the definition, the actual plan text, identifying how it's a net benefit, and so forth, it's also really important that a government team, and then also the opposition, but we're just going to stick with the government team by way of practice at the moment. It's really important that they also have about a one sentence, it could be two, but really brief sentence or statement that rhetorically frames their perspective, their worldview of the motion. What is the reality that the government is trying to get you to believe in? Okay, so for example, I might say that sports in schools perpetuate hyper-competitive, budget-draining activities that distract from academic learning. In one simple sentence, I've said a lot, haven't I? That sports in schools are hyper-competitive, budget-draining activities that distract from academic learning. Now, for the rest of my speech, I would try to support why hyper-competition is bad, why draining budgets or decreased budgets in schools is bad, and of course why distractions from academic learning are bad. Okay? But that single sentence frames that kind of reality that I want to persuade you of. There are many speeches that have been given in history, very famous speeches that have done precisely what I'm talking about. This idea of rhetorically framing a worldview or a vision or this idea or sense of reality. You might think of Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, for example, right? Every time he repeated, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream, he was communicating with that simple repetition of vision that he wanted the United States to have. Ronald Reagan had the speech where he was famously said, Mr. Gorbachev, break down this wall, right, to end the Cold War and to tear down the Berlin Wall. Or how about Gandhi when he said, become the change you want to see in the world. In fact, you don't really need to know what the rest of that speech was about, do you? That simple sentence says it all. That's rhetorically framing the motion. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a sample motion, and it's going to be the same motion for all of you. So pretend you're the government. You don't need to get into if it's policy or if it's net beneficial or anything like that. Just kind of think about if you were going to defend this motion, what kind of reality do you want your judges or your audience to think about? What kind of reality do you want them to see? And then come up with one simple sentence that captures that idea, that vision, that sense of reality. Like I did with banning sports in schools. Or like Gandhi did with be the change you want to see in the world. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's the exercise. going to give you about 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to probably pick on some of you, just choose you and see what you came up with. Okay? And then we'll probably have a quick break. Sound good? All right, so here's the motion.
Can I ask a question first?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, I'm going to do it too. Do you want us more to make like a problem statement? Like your first example for the ban all sports in schools was like sort of a depiction of the status quo as a bad situation. Or do you want us to come up more with sort of a goal or solution statement, which is like the Gandhi one, or either one?
It could be either, right?
Either one. So it could be addressing either the problem that we have now, or it could be addressing the change we want to see, as long as it captures our vision.
That's right. As long as it captures that vision, because you want to think about, ultimately what is going to be. I call these hinge arguments. They're regular arguments you make in a speech, but then there are those really key, crucial arguments that get made by both sides of the motion. And what I call a hinge argument is that argument where the whole debate hinges, like a door, right? The door opens and closes on hinges. Well, the debate will come down to a hinge. What is your hinge going to be? What is that connecting argument going to be? Are you going to stress the harms that are happening, like hyper-competitive, budget-draining activities that do blah, blah, blah? Right. Or is it going to be the ideal solution that you want us to have, which is the Gandhi quote? It could be either one. But you need to kind of think about, well, what's most important? And then that's your hinge. Okay? Everything that you will be doing in the debate will serve this statement, or should serve that statement, right? Because that's ultimately where you want your audience and judges to go, is your conception of reality. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, this House would ban Donald J. Trump from visiting our country. All right, so you get 10 minutes with the person at your table or people at your table to kind of think about this vision statement, this rhetorical framing. All right, in the interest of time, we need to get going. So, what did you come up with? Did you come up with something? I mean, I know that you were thinking, so what did you finally decide? And speak loudly so everyone can hear you.
How Donald feels right now is the world Donald needs.
I'm sorry, what?
How Donald feels right now is the world Donald needs.
The way Donald feels is the way the world Donald makes. Okay, that has potential. It's not really taking a position, though, right? You need for it to. Okay, well, why would that be a problem? Okay. Who else wants to give it a shot? How about you? I'm serious.
Me?
Yes. Speak loudly so everyone can hear you.
No one living in a global village wants to take a bread with a guy who is a segregation.
Ah, that's really good. That's really good. Can you say it again? Say it again.
No one living in a global village wants to take a bread with a guy who is a segregationist.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. No one living in a global village wants to, well, we would call it break bread, right? Or eat, have a meal with, right? No one in a global village would want to break bread with a segregationist. Yeah, that's powerful. Good job. How about someone else? How about 3 young women here? I asked if you needed my help and you said no. What did you come up with? Just one of you. All right, you. I'm just going to choose you. Tell everybody what you came up with.
I'm not sure if you kind of came up with a sentence, but the meaning was same as them.
Okay, that doesn't count.
That's like tummy.
Yeah. Just read what you had.
Giving Donald Trump a visitation to South Korea would destroy all the possibilities of conference with other countries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Maybe be a little bit more specific. You mean it would destroy South Korea's chances of having friends in other countries, okay? And maybe add a why. So why would it harm South Korea's relationships with other countries? So can you come up with a reason why? Why would allowing him to come to South Korea hurt South Korea's relations with others?
Because more countries are not in favor of Donald Trump, and if we let him visit our country, then the other countries would think that we are in favor of him, and then our relationship with the other countries would not be that good.
Excellent. So maybe we fear that South Korea would its relations with other countries would be undermined because by allowing Trump to visit, you're giving him legitimacy. Okay? So think of a way or a word or two that can really capture the meaning of your idea. All right, one more, and that's because I'm really impressed with this guy so far. I don't know his name, I don't know who he is, but this guy makes really good arguments, and so I want to hear what you came up with.
Well, I'll basically in my argument explain more of your sentence over there, elaborate upon it. So, the citizens of India would not approve of a fascist-oriented Donald Trump from visiting a secular and diverse country.
Okay, say the last part one more time.
The citizens from visiting a secular and a diverse country.
From a secular and diverse country. Yeah, that's pretty good. I would just add one thing about, well, what is it about Trump specifically that complicates that? You know, so yeah, a secular, diverse country, they shouldn't allow Donald Trump to come in, but what is it about Donald Trump that ruins that
India
picture?
would not approve of a religiously divided, fascist-oriented Donald Trump from visiting a secular and diverse
okay,
country.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. All right, that's very good. Okay, very good. That's why I wanted to hear from you. You got good stuff going on there. All right, well, you all do, but I don't know. This guy, he's a machine. No, but good job. All of you are doing great so far. We've had some exercises. Your minds are working. You're participating. So we're going to keep that up. Let's do a quick 5-minute break for those people who did not go to the restroom during my exercise. And come back, and then we got to get started real fast on the next session. So please, please, please be prompt, no longer than 5 minutes.